What made you start doing diss tracks?
Um, okay, well, I first started doing diss tracks because I did it for my own personal amusement at first, and I only roasted people that I knew. And then when I roasted people that I knew, more people ended up watching them than what I anticipated. Like I didn't actually think that people were gonna come and add me and like freak out over like a dumb diss track. Like I just do this stuff for fun and like it's just banter. You know what I mean? Like it's just banter and for people to have like a laugh and enjoyment. Like it's just kind of like casual trolling. But now the reason I do this is now is more strategically towards getting views and getting attraction towards like my my videos because I want to like end up making a career out of this. And once I get to like a certain milestone or like a certain setting, I'm not going to even be doing disses because to be honest with you, I don't really even enjoy making disses and sometimes it'll be like 9 o'clock and I'm just like, I want to play Fortnite, but I'll just grind out a diss track just so I know that I'm gonna get like another 100 like ads or I'll get another, or you know what I mean? Like that's just how I do it, and that's why.
When you get popular enough, do you think like you'll do like different types of songs, like instead of diss tracks, like something about your life or whatever, like many hip hop artists do now?
Yeah, of course. Like when I get to a certain like a milestone, I'm gonna be making raps that are actually meaningful. Like the raps that I have that I made aren't like, oh, I this, I that, you know what I mean? It's not like that. It's more of like it's genuine rap, like genuine feelings and things that have actually happened in my life, and like you know what I mean, like stuff you could relate to.
Why did you get banned?
I had a feud with uh with the Lance Cruise North band. I know that sounds pretty cringy to say. Like I got in a feud with them, and so basically, there's this kid that goes to Lance Cruise North that threatened to shoot up the school, and it made headlines in the news, and everybody from Anchor Bay knew about it. Everybody from their school knew about it, and so many of my fans that don't even go there knew about this situation. So to circulate and get more views, I decided to roast that person. It was more of like a strategic move. And when I ended up roasting him, this guy was in the band class, and all the band members were like messaging me. They were like, "Screw you! You don't know him. You don't know that guy, and you're making a video on him. You don't even know him." So then I made a diss track on the band class as a whole. So then after I made that diss track, it got taken down. They flagged it, and then someone sent me a Snapchat of the teacher saying, "Yeah, he's a loser. He's trash. He's garbage, and blah blah blah." So then I made a diss track on the band teacher, and after I made a diss track on the band teacher, um, some guy was trying his hardest to get me banned, and he emailed Instagram and was like claiming that my videos on my Instagram weren't mine and that they were stolen from like a different website. So then I got banned for copyright infringement or trademark, something like that, and it's not even like an actual legitimate ban because it's not true. So it kind of sucked, and Instagram wouldn't email me back.
Why do you think some people hate you?
Well, the thing that annoys me is like whenever somebody has like criticism to give me or like any type of like hate to give me, they instantly give it like screw you or like a big rant. It's never like started off like why. They never ask me like why do you do this or like why do you do that or why did you roast this person? Like they don't know anything. They just all out of the dark blindly just throw like a huge paragraph hating. And I wish people would take the time to have a legitimate convo with me before they like judge me as a person because nobody knows like my actual intentions. Nobody really knows like how I care about certain people or like my morals. Like I have strong morals, and if I saw like some guy standing out, well, you know, I'm not even gonna get into all of that. Like I know that I'm a good person, and I just wish people would at least try to like ask me stuff before they go out on a rant. Like people will go ahead and see all these like nasty things that people are doing in like society, but me trying to like grind and trying to like make people laugh and be an entertainer, and yeah, maybe sometimes people are like the butt of the joke, but I try my hardest to deflect that. And I'll message somebody, like let's say somebody gets bullied because of my diss, or not even bullied, just like let's say somebody is just getting like joked about like constantly about my diss. I message them and I try to make an active effort to like stop that from happening because I hate like mob mentality, and a lot of my fans don't do that because I stop them from doing that. Like I'm not even joking.
Would you consider yourself a bad person?
I wouldn't consider myself a bad person, but it's like I gotta do stuff to get views, and it's like being like a hitman kind of, except I'm not killing anybody, and I'm just I'm just literally like it's hard to explain. Like if people who watch my content know that it's not really harassment. It's more of just like a disrespect track. I mean, I guess it's disrespectful, but I definitely wouldn't consider myself a bad person over it. I would consider myself more of like kind of like a dick, I guess, but it's just a persona. Like some people have certain personas that like characters. Like it's more of a character. Like the little cringy diss track guy that makes cringy diss tracks and does cringy things. Like I really have this method of humor in my videos, like cringe humor. You know what I mean? Like I'll say cringy shit and off the wall just for like um a stunned humor and stuff like that.
Aren't you worried that one of the diss tracks that you make could cause someone who's depressed to hurt themselves?
Oh, that's a tough question. I do worry about that a lot, and that's why I take extra time to do extra research on like the people I roast. Like I will ask certain people, like I'll probably ask about like 10, 15, 20 people before I even make a diss track on a certain person to make sure that they're like stable, make sure that they don't get picked on, make sure that they have a lot of friends and that they fit in. Like I'm never gonna roast. Like you're never ever gonna see me roast somebody that's emo and comes to school and gets made fun of every day and doesn't fit in and gets bullied and gets made fun of and harassed and ridiculed. I'm never ever gonna roast somebody like that. And if you know the people that I roast personally, you know that they're the popular student, the person that actually is the bully, that actually goes around and talks smack about people and hates on people. But I still worry about that anyway because sometimes you might have inaccuracies in like what you make, and the content that I make is like I don't know the people that I roast, and I don't hate anybody that I roast, and I don't have any relations with the people that I roast. So it's like it's kind of hard to like make sure that everything that you say in your video is accurate, but I try my hardest to make sure that everything's right in it. And I always seem to always do that, I guess, is always get my information correct.
Do you consider yourself famous?
I don't consider myself famous. Like, I mean, you could consider yourself famous on like a certain degree. Like, if I was gonna say I think I'm famous on East Side Michigan, that would be an okay thing to say, but it's like still not true because like there's so many. My demographic is like probably about 12 to 22-year olds. Those are the people that watch my videos, and I have more fans that are around like 16, 17. That's like the most for a certain age, I guess you could say. But every time I go out to a gas station, not every time, but like if I go out somewhere, let's say I go to Walmart, like I know if somebody knows who I am, and like it's kind of weird because they'll either like stare at you or they'll like look at you weirdly. And I think I think one cool thing about it is like okay, where I work at a diner. I'm not gonna tell you exactly where, but I was there one day and this guy looks at me and he's like, "Oh my God, you're Repult, right?" So I go over to talk to him and he's like, "Dude, I'm a big fan. I love everything that you do." And I asked him, I was like, Do you follow me?" And he's like, "No, I don't follow you, but my friends talk about you all the time and blah blah blah." And I think what I notice is like some people will show their friends my videos and stuff on their phone, and then they don't actually go over to subscribe. So I feel like or follow. So I feel like I have like triple more fans than what I actually have because one, I've been banned like twice. Two, that stuff happens, and I don't know. It's a little irritating, but it's not irritating at the same time because it's their choice, and I don't know. I feel like more people know me than I have on my social media, but it's all in like one area. It's all within like a 150-mile radius.
Do you consider what you do to be bullying?
No, it's not bullying because of how I put everything together. Like if I was to bullying first off is like to force somebody to do something that you don't want to do. Like let's say if I was like um everybody give this kid a wet willy at school tomorrow, or I would like everybody call this guy a faggot or something like that. Then yeah, I would consider that bullying, but I don't do anything like that. I just make a funny diss track and then I post it. And then I always put disclaimers like at least every 5 days. Like, do not go out of your way to harass somebody and blah, blah, blah. And I make them really good. I don't like put them in text at the bottom of my video. Like, I actually make sure to let every single person know like how my intentions are and how I feel about that subject.
Where did you grow up?
Um, I was born in Detroit, and then I moved to Mount Clemens when I was young, and I lived in the ghetto, kind of like my dad was. He was cool, but he was just not like he was there, and then he wasn't there, and then he was there, and then he wasn't there, and he had like problems with like drugs and stuff like that. So it was mostly like my mom raising me, and like we were kind of poor. We were like really poor, and it sucked because like I knew how much potential I had, and like I know so many people that are big in certain industries, and I know how to do it. Like I know what to do. Like I don't have I have like a nice setup now because I have a job now, but it annoyed me because I seen people who were like 5 years younger than me have like a nice setup and have everything they needed to be successful. And I'm over here like sitting on a box TV with nothing, you know what I mean? And now that I have more stuff, it makes me happy that I can do things that I want to do to a certain degree. But I wish I had studio equipment because I feel like a huge thing that's holding me back is the fact that I can't do every single thing that I want. But if I could, I feel like I'd be a little bit more farther and have more like success in like rapping and stuff.
When did you start rapping?
I started rapping when I was probably like 9, 8, somewhere around there. Like, here, I'll do a little rap that I did when I was like 9, and I wrote this. Uh, I'll be spinning it, I spit in every position. I'll be killing them bitches. They should label me the lieutenant. I'll be pin precision. While niggas looking real time, I'll be lifting the limits. I'll rip them right off the hinges. Coming and punching them. Even the toughest, the elements. Yeah, I'm looking at the roughest. That I'll be shuffling hundreds. Like, I wrote that when I was like 9 years old, dude. Like, I'm not even joking. And like I've always been very good with English. Like I got poetry award in high school in my 12th grade year, and my teachers would always read out like my like English work. Like I don't know, I'm just very good with. I'm very good with like English, and I don't know. It's just I don't know. I love to like put words together in certain forms. Like I feel like that's art, and it can't be art in certain cases when you have certain people doing it. Like let's say you have Young Thug, he's like, "I'm living like a fucking after the day." Like no, that's not art. That's not art at all. And like how I do it is I like to have certain rhyme schemes. Like I actually do it in a poetic way, like write my music, and I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit different from certain artists that just mumble rap and all that stuff.
Who's your biggest inspiration or artist?
Um, I've had like phases in music where I would listen to certain people and then I would like develop a different taste and listen. Like I listen to every genre except country, jazz, reggae, and that's probably about it. I listen to everything. I listen to rock. Uh, for rock, I say my inspirations like Green Day. For for like hip hop, I have a couple. Tupac is a very big inspiration for me. Logic is a very big inspiration for me. Like they have songs that are very real, like Brenda's Got a Baby by Tupac, or As I Am by Logic, or Only God Can Judge Me. Like I like rappers that have realism and actual meaning in their rap. Like certain rappers, they could have a nice vibe and nice beat, and I like that too. But for me to like very be like to be inspired by somebody, it has to be by like actual rap that matters. Like those type of people that make that type of rap.
Would you consider yourself a good rapper?
Not to have a big ego or to toot my horn, but yeah, I listen to other rappers. Like, here's the thing about like certain voices and stuff. Like me, I have like not a squeaky voice, obviously. Like I don't sound like Ducky Momo, but I have a I have a deep voice. But there are people like, let's say Biggie Smalls, dude, his voice is so deep that he has a very good flow. Like I don't like, some deep voices are like terrible and they don't sound good on the mic. Like you might sound like very stupid with certain deep voices, but I just wish my voice was like a little bit more deep toned, because then I would be able to have slower raps. Like me, I try to talk more fast and have more of a faster flow because that's what my voice does good with. Like Biggie Smalls, if he did like a fast, very fast rap, it probably wouldn't sound that good. And he has a very good flow for slow tone. That's why I wish I had like a little bit of a deeper voice, but not too deep. But if I had like a squeaky voice and I was rapping, it wouldn't sound good, like at all. Like I feel like your voice has a lot to do with how good you are as a rapper. And I don't know. I feel like my lyrics also help. Like if I had trash lyrics, it probably wouldn't sound good with my voice. But I feel like I make my voice work with my rap, and I always try to listen back to my raps before after I record them to try to fix certain things.
How much effort goes into making a diss track?
All right, so first I gotta figure out who I want to do. I gotta figure out names of everybody and who would fit the role of like being a person that gets dissed. I gotta make sure that the person that I roast has no bad family issues. Make sure that the person doesn't get bullied. Make sure the person doesn't get harassed, teased, all that stuff. Then once I pick like a bunch of people, I put them on a list, and then I even ask again just to make sure that none of those people get bullied or picked on. And then after I do that, I I make the list shorter until I see where all the attention goes towards who would want to get roasted the most. You know what I mean? So after I pick the person, um, then I have to get the research and make sure everything's accurate. I have to ask people certain things about the person, and then I start to write. I find a beat. I rephrase everything into rap lyrics, and then I make like a 30 line rap, 30 lines, like a rap with 30 lines, 30 bars, and make it like a minute long to fit like the Snapchat.
Why do you like making diss tracks?
No, I don't like it at all. I'd rather be doing like serious, genuine rap, but um, it's only temporary. I don't like it, but certain people like it, and I don't know. That's just how I feel. I don't like it at all, but I just do it for views and just like the cloud, I guess.
Why do you think people look up to you?
I think people look up to me because I'm just honest. Like I'm blunt and I get to the point and I don't really hold stuff back. Like I feel like everyone should be like that in my opinion. Like let's say you're afraid to say what you want to say and speak your mind. Like I don't think people should ever feel that way. Like when I was in school, like I always was like that. Like I had friends, but I could have had way more friends if I just wasn't like so honest. Like if I didn't like something, like I had to like let everybody know that I didn't like it. Like not like in a obnoxious, like arrogant way, but let's say somebody was being a dick to me, and some people would just sit there and take it, but me, I would just be like blunt, like shut the fuck up or something. Like I mean, it doesn't sound really mature, but it's like I just didn't let people walk over me. And there was this time in school when there's this big guy, and I knew he could kick my ass, and I didn't really care. I just I made a joke about like I was like, oh, you're more flat than a quarter or something, and he didn't understand the joke, and he was like, that doesn't make sense. So we had an argument. He's like, shut up before I kick your ass, and I just like blew up on the kid, and like I knew he could beat me up. Like I wasn't dumb, but I still blew up on that kid. And I feel like people are afraid of like stuff like getting in trouble or getting beat up, that they don't really have much realism. And I feel like everybody should be able to like speak their mind and be who they really are and not really worry about what the consequences are, because it's never really good to like box yourself off like that.
Have you ever met a fan in real life?
Yeah, I meet fans every once in a while. If I go to like the gas station. Wait, I think I've already talked about this before. Did I? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But
you
like,
you talked about one that saw you, but he wasn't actually a fan. He just knew about you.
yeah, whenever I go to like the mall, like let's say I went to the Lakeside Mall a few weeks ago and I ran into about like six fans. It's not like I'm not gonna say like I ran into fans every single time I go out, but I run into fans like very frequently than what you would expect. And I know it's just because like a lot of the people that live around where I live know who I am. Like if I had fans, if I had a fan base on YouTube, this wouldn't happen. Like I wouldn't run into fans. But it's just because like my formula and my style of like getting views and stuff is a lot different from everybody else's. And I think that my formula is actually pretty brilliant to get like attraction towards myself. Um, it works a lot. Like certain people that have like 30,000 like followers, some of those people get like 500 like subs a month, and I'm getting like 2,200 a month in 30-day like span, and that's pretty good. I kind of went on a tangent, but no, yeah, I've met a lot of fans in real life, probably about like 200 fans in real life.
How does it feel to have fans that live so close to you?
It feels a little bit like I don't know how to explain it. It's just a little awkward, but it's also cool and admiring that like, you know what I mean? Like the people that live around my community know who I am, but it's also like what if somebody like gets very offended by my diss track and is like, "Oh, I'm going to go find this guy and shoot him or whatever." But, you know what I mean? It's cool, but it's also like worrying a little bit to a degree.
Have you ever worried that all the attention you can get you in trouble or hurt?
Yeah, I worry about that all the time, and you know, some people could play the victim when I roast them. Like, there's this girl I roasted named Olivia, and I made it. I went out of my way to for miles to make sure that nobody said anything bad about this person. And after I did that, she started messaging her friends and were like begging all of her friends to like to hate on me and say all kinds of nasty stuff to me, and she's begging people to come to my meetup to fight me. Like, and not even just that, like I think she actually went to the police about my diss track on her. And I asked people like, has this person bullied you? And so many people were messaging me and telling me like big paragraphs about how this girl bullied her. And it just makes me mad like how somebody could really be that evil to actually want to cause misery. Like my diss track isn't meant to cause misery. It's more to cause people to laugh and have shock value. And but her, she genuinely wanted to like destroy me over a little video for fun. Like it's kind of crazy.
Do you think what you're doing is a waste of time?
Well, like it's more of like time can tell if it's a waste of time. Like if I failed, then yes, it's a waste of time. But if I can get to like 20,000 followers and start selling merch and making like 50, $100 a day, then I don't think it's a waste of time. But my intentions and what I think I can do, I genuinely don't think it's a waste of time. But I feel like it's not good right now, and it's a waste of time for the shortcoming. But once the long road goes, I feel like it will be like all it'll be worth it.
Do you think you will ever become famous one day?
It's possible, but I'm not too sure. I mean, like, it's just like you gotta be lucky to meet the right person, and I feel like I meet like so many people every day that I mean, it's possible. But first off, the person gotta has to like you. Person has to have a lot of connections that you run into. It's like meeting the plug, I guess. Like Rich the Kid says, plug walk. But you gotta meet the plug. He has to like you, and he has to think that you're like worthy of him helping you and co-signing you, and that's just how it is every time. It's possible, might not be possible, but it's just if they see your potential, then yeah, it could happen.
What are your plans for the future?
To drop a few music videos, to get in the studio, to record some songs, to do some bigger things. I want to go in a venue and rap. Not really for like I'm gonna invite fans to it, of course, but at like a thing where there's like several rappers. Like I want to do some stuff and collab and make songs with people and just do stuff that'll push me farther and like share fan bases with certain people and just like actually get the ball rolling. Like that's what I really want to do. But yeah, thanks for doing this interview, dude. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thank you for taking your time to do this. Very much appreciated.